Approximately 5 months ago, I had zero presence on all social media platforms. About 2 years ago, I didn't know how to operate a camera, how to tell a story, or how to edit a video. 10 years ago, I didn't speak a word of English, and 20 years ago, I was just this young boy sitting in a corner of a mosque, struggling to pronounce the words of the Quran. With completely different dreams and aspirations, never even once back then, and throughout all of these stages and phases, had it occurred to me that one day, all of them collectively will lead me to a place where I was going to be creating comprehensively well-produced inspirational videos, sometimes film style tajweed and Quran lessons, speaking articulately in a completely different language, and with almost 10,000 inspired people from all over the world across all platforms. And this is just the beginning for something bigger and better and more amazing, bi'idhnillah. So yes, in this video, as you can tell, I'm talking about the power of long-term planning and execution. I want to share with you what I've learned throughout my journey and over the years, how we can build little by little to achieve the biggest of dreams, bi'idhnillah. I want to summarize all of this in a few points, but not before I finish this story. So now you're telling me that young boy sitting in a corner of a small mosque wasn't really dreaming of all of this? Nah, maybe all he was thinking about back then was, I want to be a professional soccer player, because he was good at it. I'm still good at it, by the way. If anyone is watching, I'll take the offer. So my point here isn't to embarrass myself or to brag about my achievements, but rather to remember and to remind you all that this very moment, wherever you're sitting right now, whatever you're working on right now, that it matters. This is another stage and another phase that you have to go through, which is leading you to something bigger and better, bi'idhnillah. So don't ignore it and give it what it deserves from your full attention, because your future self will need it. And so for me, when I think about that young boy, I'm absolutely proud of him, because one thing he knew for sure was that learning the Quran and memorizing it was the best thing he could do for his religion, and he was eagerly doing it to the best of his ability. 2 years ago, I'm this scared version of me taking a crucial decision, changing careers and getting into videography and filmmaking just because I wanted to represent the Muslim youth, to inspire them, to show them that you, as proud Muslim boys and girls, proud Muslim men and women, you can become a cool shot without letting go of your Islamic identity. Looking back at all the struggles, all of these phases, all the doubts, all the insecurities, alhamdulillah, it's all been very so worth it. And with that in mind, here are the points that I would like to share with anyone who's eager and keen to reclaim their lives and build some momentum.
الذي لم يتخذ ولدا ولم يكن له شريك في الملك ولم يكن له ولي من الذل وكبره تكبيرا.
Solidify your intention, get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and strengthen your relationship with Him. I mean, there is no need for a detailed explanation here. Allah comes first and everything else should serve that main purpose. But know for a fact that the closer you get to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the more content and the more you'll achieve by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Dig deeper within and understand yourself better. Continue learning and exploring about what interests you, what you're truly passionate about, and what makes you happy. Don't be afraid to experiment there. There's no harm in experimenting. Pay close attention to your current habits, actions, and decisions. I mean, I could sound like a broken record saying this, but the little details that we usually tend to ignore or not pay close attention to matter in the long run. So, spend some quality time figuring out your priorities instead of just walking aimlessly. Then start walking. Do your best to push through the initial fear and chase your goals and dreams. Now understand that it's okay to develop them at times. That's your sign, which should tell you that you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. But allow yourself to break and expand these barriers. And give yourself a fair chance. Allow yourself to fail and get back up again. I know it sounds cliche, but we need to understand and accept that failing is part of the journey. And this is how we actually learn and progress in life. I mean, everyone's experiences are different. Yes, you could learn the theory from watching people and all of that, but once you actually step into the action and get your hands dirty, that's how you actually learn. That's when you know for sure that this is gonna work or not for you specifically. Wow, if I actually do this, it might avoid expectation at all costs. I mean, oh my God, you don't know how much this was an issue for me and for a lot of people that I know personally. You know, you might think that taking an action will lead you to a desired outcome. But what could actually happen is that taking that specific action will lead you to a completely different trajectory. Well, you'll have to go through a lot and learn so many things first before you get to that specific desired outcome that you intended in the first place. Or it might actually lead you to a completely different place where you weren't even paying attention to, and it's a lot better for you. But it's not achievable unless you actually take the steps one step at a time and allow yourself to go through all of these stages. So try to push through the initial frustration that you might feel, that you will feel when something doesn't work out in the same manner, in the same way that you intended it, that you expected it to work, and try to keep moving forward. Whoa, these guys are so nice. Stop comparing yourself to others. Your environments, your situations, your lives are completely different. So it's not fair to indulge in these comparisons. It's not fair to you as someone who's early in the process. And it's not fair to those whom you're comparing yourself to, because they're already established regardless of what they're doing. Instead, focus on yourself and what you can control right this moment and build with what you have. Forget about the distractions and the what ifs. They won't do anything for you. They're nothing but a waste of time and energy. And just try to enjoy your journey and be patient. Did you see this? So finally bringing all these points together. Build your confidence with time. Build your name, your awareness, your skills, your reputation, whatever you want to build. Build it with time. There is no such thing as rushing it. See, if you were to die today, there's nothing you can do about it. It's out of your control. But at least you know that your every day matters. Your every decision, everything that you do matters, and you did it on your own terms. Don't weep on the past, what you should or shouldn't have done. Don't be ashamed of your past mistakes. We're all humans in the end of the day. But you should look at your past as a gateway towards this very moment that you live in, all of the experiences that led you here. And it should also serve as your vision towards a better future, inshallah. And I want to end this video with 2 ayat that completely transformed my perspective. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah An-Najm, وَأَن لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى وَأَنَّ سَعْيَهُ سَوْفَ يُرَى. So we are accountable for what we put forth and not for the outcome. If you think about it and look at some of the stories of the prophets ﷺ, at the top list, Prophet Nuh فَلَبِثَ فِيهِمْ أَلْفَ سَنَةٍ إِلَّا 50 عَامًا, 950 years with his people. But the outcome, وَمَا آمَنَ مَعَهُ إِلَّا قَلِيلٌ. Not a lot of people believed in him. Only a few people believed in him. So if we think about the results as the only measure, then Prophet Nuh ﷺ would have been one of the biggest failures. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the next ayah, فَأَنْجَيْنَاهُ وَأَصْحَابَ السَّفِينَةِ. We all know the story. We protected him, we saved him and the people of the ark, and we made it a sign for all of the humanity. So I ask Allah to allow us to live a life filled with fulfillment in His obedience. And may He make us a source of inspiration to the people around us and to anyone that we interact with. Take care, you all. I'll see you in the next video. Bi-idhnillah.